Okay, now today we'll see how to use Pulsar Pro to process allows2 data. First thing, we have to compute the multi-look factor. So you can compute the multi-look factor by using azimuth resolution and the incidence angle which is provided in the data set, or you can use this Sentinel-1 toolbox developed by ESA. So first thing, you are going to select the file allows2 COS file. So in file menu there is one option import raster data. In that you have another option SAR data. You have to select allows2 COS. Then you go to that particular folder and select this file and say import product. So this is your data. Okay, now we have to compute a multi-look factor. So click on SAR processing. In that you select multi-looking, and here in processing parameters tab you will find this number of range looks and number of azimuth looks. You have to note down these two things, range look and azimuth look. So what is range now? Range gives you number of samples, that is columns, okay, and azimuth gives you number of lines, that is number of rows. So now we'll close this Sentinel toolbox and we will open Pulsar Pro. Now we'll see how to process allows2 data using Pulsar Pro. So here I am using Pulsar Pro version 5.0. The latest version is Pulsar Pro 6, but it's a beta version and there are few issues with that software. So that version actually. So I am using the older version and you all can also use the older version. Okay, I have not linked it with this. Okay. So you have to select this first. Ours is a single data set. It's not a multiple data set. So you have to select this single data set. Then here you are going to select a folder. Okay. So we will select a folder. So desktop. Okay. We'll select this, update, save and exit. Change the data directory or import data. So yes. Okay, then we have to go to import. It's the space-borne sensor, allows2 pulsar, quad pole data. There are 4 channels, so I'll select this. Now you have to select the SAR ladder file. So here you can select a SAR ladder file. Okay, this is a SAR ladder file. Check files. Okay, this is for we are considering VH equal to HV, right? So okay, then read header, click on OK. Don't forget to extract data before running any data process. Okay, then go to import again, extract, full resolution. Here we are going to select this multi-look. Okay, and whatever factor we got from previous software, that is Sentinel toolbox, what was that? Range 1 and azimuth 2. Okay, so rows are 2 and range, that is column 1. Okay, and I want a T3 matrix, so I'll say okay, run. So it asks create a directory, yes. So now it is processing. It will take time depending upon the size of the image. If the size is less, it will be very fast. It will create all 9 elements of T3, that is coherency matrix. Okay, now you will ask what is this multi-look 1 is to 2. So you can see here the end rows are 26,105 and columns are 8360 something. Okay, it's not visible actually. Okay, no, it's 8360 only. So column we are going to keep as it is, but end rows we are going to divide by 2. Means we are averaging actually rows, 2 rows into 1 row. So after multi-look, what is the effect of multi-looking? Multi-looking, the noise will be reduced, but the resolution will also decrease. Okay, since I have not linked this software, okay, it is giving me error, but it's okay. This is just to display the image, okay, that we can see in the folder later on. Okay, now if you want to check whether the T3 matrix is created or not, you can just go to that folder. Okay, this is a T3 matrix which is created. Okay, in that you can see there are 9 elements of T3, and there is a config file. You can just open and see what is there in config file, number of rows and number of columns, and the type, that is monostatic, and polarimetric is full polarimetry, right, quad. So now the T3 is formed, and here you can see there is T3. Okay, so now you can convert this T3 into C3 or C2 depending upon your application. The next menu is process. Under process you can have various speckle filters. Here you can have boxcar or Lee refined, Lee sigma, any filter you can select according to your application. Suppose you have selected one filter, Lee refined. Here you can give size of the window and apply it. So there will be new T3 which is filter T3 created. Okay, but right now I am not going to apply. You can apply it later on. So under process there is one more menu called name as decomposition. Under that there are various decompositions are given. Uh, the latest decomposition Gulab Singh 6 and 7 is not available here. Gulab Singh 6 decomposition is available in beta version of Polsar Pro 6 version 6.0, and 7 is not available. Then under segmentation you have Wishart classifier, which is a well-known classifier. Then support vector machine. The procedure is same. So here you can see there are different colors you can assign to classes. So you can select the colors here. I am not going to change it. Now you want to give training areas for classification. So okay, before doing this, you have to convert the image into RGB file. So create RGB. I am selecting this Pauli decomposition. So you know blue is single bounce, green is volume bounce, and red is double bounce. And click on run. I have not configured this software. This is just to display. If you want to see whether it is created or not, you can just see here. So this is the Mumbai area. So now we have to select the training areas. Sorry, you can select this folder, Pauli RGB. If the image is very big, it will take time. Okay, so you can zoom it. Now here you can see there are class numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Under each class you can have more number of training areas. Okay, so class 1, I am going to click on new. Okay, not new, sorry, the first class. So you will first sample in class 1, you select this. For the second sample you click on new, second sample, then maybe third sample. Depending upon the population you can select the area number of areas. So new, because I know Mumbai area very well, I am taking the training samples confidently. Suppose I have taken only 4 samples under class 1. Now I'll go for class 2, and class 2 is suppose urban. So I'll take these samples, new. You have to be very careful while selecting the samples. Just to demonstrate, I am taking it, not taking very good precaution. Otherwise, you will get bad classification accuracy, poor accuracy if the samples are not proper. Now new class, third, the class 3 is forest. I'm taking new samples, new third sample, maybe the fourth sample from somewhere here. Then the class 4 is mangroves. Okay, so save, then run training process. And run. So you can go back to the folder and check whether it is created or not. See this. This is a cluster set which we have given training areas, and this is a classified output. You can see. You can change the colors according to your wish. And this is the confusion matrix. Class 1 was what? Water. Class 2 was settlement. Class 3 forest, and class 4 mangroves. So this is class wise accuracy, and you can calculate the overall accuracy.